Oh, hey there. How you doing? Oh, me? I'm doing alright. Late Night Retro here, and I was going to make a video covering all the Color Dreams games. Soon after playing only 3 of them, I realized the developer that calls themselves Color Dreams were actually a developer that was spawning nightmares. What a highly inappropriate name for the content this company produced. Now we will still look at these Color Dreams games, but we won't make an entire video of them. Nah. I don't feel like talking myself down off a bridge. So the compromise I made to keep any sort of sanity is we'll look at one Color Dreams game at a time, and then we will pin that game against something similar but actually worth playing. Now I'm no Color Dreams expert and haven't played all of their titles, so maybe as we go through this list we can find something so fun that we won't need a game that's better to play. I highly doubt that's going to happen, but who the hell knows. Since this is the beginning of the series, let me tell you a little bit about this Color Dreams. They were an unlicensed video game company back in the days of the NES. They found a way to bypass Nintendo's lockout chip and decided to make a bunch of non-licensed shitty games. Their first title came about in 1989, and they developed games through 1995. Not all of the games that they released were under the name Color Dreams. In fact, while still releasing games for the NES through 1992 under Color Dreams, they made another label called Bunch Games. Now why would they do this, you ask? I will tell you it's not to rebrand themselves in order to redeem themselves as a label that could make better games. In fact, it's the complete opposite. They made this other label called Bunch Games because the reputation as Color Dreams was in the gutter. They were the company known for just putting out complete and utter shit for NES titles. So they made Bunch Games, a label for them to release even shittier games without further tarnishing the already poor reputation of Color Dreams. I mean, that's just brilliant. Instead of maybe looking for people capable of making a decent game, they just made another name for themselves where they would release even shittier games. Good God! Speaking of God, Color Dreams also spawned yet another label called Wisdom Tree for the sole purpose of spreading the word of the Lord. I mean, after they shit all over us with so many horrible video game releases, they must have felt bad for ripping off the public and taking their money, found the Lord, asked for forgiveness, threw down some Hail Marys, and formed the label Wisdom Tree. Now I'm more familiar with this label than the other two. You will know Wisdom Tree from such hit titles as Spiritual Warfare and Bible Adventures. They are a company whose sole purpose is to make Christian-themed games. The Wisdom Tree label resulted in Color Dreams' best-selling titles. This company is responsible for creating the only unlicensed SNES game to ever be released in North America, Super 3D Noah's Ark. While Wisdom Tree remains active today and is still selling religious video games, Color Dreams left the video game business in 1996 to focus on digital camera development. Well, that pretty much sums up Color Dreams and what they were all about. Now, I'm not going to look at these games in any particular order, such as like first to last like I did in the Flintstones video. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. We'll kind of bounce around through different release dates. The game we'll look at now is King Neptune's Adventure, which was released in 1990. Beneath our great ocean, a sinister plan has come to pass. Some creature, nay, some beast, has the magical orb of peace in his clutches. It was the last and most powerful of King Neptune's treasures. Slowly over the years, 8 of his treasures have been stolen, and now even the magical orb. The dark shadow of the terrible deed blackens the hearts of those under the sea because the orb was the last and most powerful of King Neptune's treasures. You as King Neptune must return the orb of peace to King Neptune's castle and restore peace to his oceanic kingdom. Enter this cool liquid world. A fantastic journey awaits you. Yeah, okay, I'll take your word for it. The game starts you off by going over your controls, how your attacks work, and highlights the treasures you will need to find. A bit of a tutorial. Okay, that's cool. And then you're plopped into King Neptune's castle. First thing that was greeted with was some ear-piercing shitastic music. Nice. So we know our goal is to collect the 8 treasures. You will need them to open up a door to fight the final boss. So it's your mission to track these down. The game has a map, and it tries to act like a trailer trash Metroidvania kind of game, but falls incredibly short. You navigate through the sea and the 8 areas shooting lightning bolts to collect more health and items I found no real purpose for. You can also shoot a bomb by pressing B and detonate it by pressing A. Kind of a cool little mechanic. It should lead to some well-placed and satisfying detonations on the creatures under the sea, but no, it really doesn't. The enemies in this game are so sporadic and have really zero recognizable patterns to their movements. So you popping out bombs in hopes of landing well-placed explosions is like trying to piss into a cup in the dark. The bombs are limited, and it's the one item that doesn't drop off of slain enemies. I found just random places throughout the game where you pick them up. The bombs aren't listed on the screen, so I had no idea they were limited at first, and wasted them fruitlessly. You have to press the select button, and how many you have left are listed on the map screen. Your lightning attack is unlimited, but to kill some enemies they take like 30 lightning blasts, where otherwise they would take only like 2 bombs to kill. So the lesson here is, don't waste your bombs, kids. You spend a lot of time juking and jiving aimlessly as you float through the sea. There are a couple boss fights and places where you have to navigate through corridor type stages. There aren't a lot of these corridor type areas, but it was the most fun I had with this game. Everything else just felt so unrewarding and lackluster. Most of the time I just tried juking and weaving through enemies like I was playing as Bo Jackson in Tecmo Super Bowl, rather than trying to fight them. As I said earlier, they're super sporadic and they have like this move where they jump over your projectiles. It's a goddamn clown show, and one of the most frustrating and ridiculous moves I've ever seen from an enemy in a Nintendo game. I suffered through this game to the very end, and I didn't beat it. No, not because I suck and it was too hard, the game like glitched somehow. I had 7 treasures and I was missing 1, and it was at the beginning of the game. So I backtracked all the way there. When you get there, the treasure is locked behind a door which requires 6 keys. Well, I had like 3 or 4 keys and then I died. When I continued the game, my keys were gone and they didn't respawn in the level, so I had no way of opening this door to get the last treasure I needed to fight the endgame boss. It's goddamn hilarious. I played through this shit game only to get shit on by something I had no control over. So no, you do not pass go, you do not collect $200. Well, there isn't much more I can say. The game was a disappointment and it screwed me over in the end. I guess play this at your own risk, and if you decide not to, well, that's good on you. Weren't satisfied with the deep sea exploration of King Neptune's adventure? Well, I can't blame you. You want a short bubbly game where you navigate your way through some seascapes with decent graphics and responsive gameplay, check out Disney's The Little Mermaid, an officially licensed game created by Capcom. Not the most groundbreaking title, but most can beat it under an hour, and it features some elements you may be accustomed to from playing other Disney titles, such as Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. The stages are short, there are treasures to be found just like in King Neptune's adventure, and it has some fun boss fights, rather than the painstaking fights we became accustomed to in the other game. This has been Late Night Retro. Thank you for watching. Until next time.